Welcome back to Daytime Ottawa. Always like to talk about serious subject matter here on this show, and today we're talking literacy, and I think you'd be surprised at how many Canadians struggle with literacy right across the country, and there's a fantastic organization whose mission it has been to help those who are struggling with literacy, and it is called United for Literacy, and I'm joined by its president and CEO, Melanie Valcin. Melanie, welcome to the show. Great to have you here, and a good starting point, Melanie, is talking about your organization and sort of what your mission is. Tell us a little bit about yourselves.
With pleasure, and thanks for having me, Derek. United for Literacy is a Canada-wide literacy organization. Literally, we work coast to coast to coast, from PEI to BC, all the way to the Arctic, to bring literacy supports to individuals, whether they're children, youth, or adults, who need a bit of extra support to acquire the literacy skills they need to succeed at school, at work, or in their life in general.
Melanie, I said off the top that I think people would be surprised at how many Canadians struggle across the country with literacy. Do we have any numbers of any kind that we can share with viewers?
I do have some shocking numbers to share with you, Derek. Literacy is really a misunderstood issue in this country. People might be surprised to learn that one Canadian adult out of 5 is struggling in performing daily tasks that require reading, writing, or math. And that has some pretty serious consequences.
Who are the Canadians that are struggling? I mean, because that's always a question. I think there's probably some misconceptions. Perhaps some things come to people's mind when they think of literacy and those who struggle. Who are we talking about here, Melanie?
That's a very good question, Derek. So the people we're talking about here, people who are experiencing low literacy, would be individuals that are, experiencing poverty. They might be living in under-resourced communities or in very remote or rural settings. They would be newcomers to Canada, perhaps, or people that have been incarcerated. Of course, there are some people that have learning disabilities or another type of disability, and so all those factors could be coming into play when we think about who is unfortunately presenting low literacy skills.
Melanie, I wonder, has technology had an impact at all when it comes to literacy?
That's a very good question, Derek. Literacy skills and digital literacy skills in today's world are intricately, are very linked, or there's a strong link between the two. So we know at United for Literacy, and we see in our work every day, that individuals who are struggling with literacy will also often be struggling with digital skills. And conversely, if you are struggling with digital skills, you will not necessarily have access to all the information you need to access program or to have access to other support. So there's a link there that unfortunately exists, for sure.
I wonder, even on the opposite side of that, Melanie, is the fact that sometimes technology can make it easier, and in particular, I think I'm thinking of writing when it comes to literacy. It makes it so easy that maybe you don't learn the basics, and could that be part of the struggle?
That's a very good point as well. There's all sorts of new technologies that are coming out every day now that could be seen as a replacement, as you say, of being able to master reading and writing. It is my view and the view of my organization, if I can say that, in order to really make the most of these new technologies that are coming out, in order to be able to decipher the information that you also see, that you access through those new technologies, you really have to have good, strong literacy skills. And so, again, it's a little bit the egg or the chicken, or there's a link there.
Right.
And it comes back down to this, Derek. In order to perform your daily tasks, to be able to research information and analyze it so you can make proper decisions for your lives or for your community, you need to have strong literacy skills.
Does social media have any impact on reading and writing?
That's a good question. We see it with our children. If we think of our children, sometimes we see how, they read, they write, when they access social media platforms. And of course, this has an impact Of course, social media platforms have an impact on how people are accessing information, but also on the type of the information that they receive. Because again, you need to have strong literacy skills to be able to ask the right questions or to do research properly. So I'm coming back to my earlier point, Derek. In order to use social media in a helpful and constructive way, reading, writing, and math skills are very important.
Yeah, and just to follow up on that, Melanie, I think probably more young people than older people, but the use of memes and sort of these acronyms that we start using, and not using perhaps the full word and shortening things to make things quick when it comes to texting and social media, that must have an impact as well.
I'm pretty sure there's an impact. I don't have all the data in front of me, but again, right. Derek, I really believe that what's important to make sure that all the children of this country, well, let me go back a little bit and tell you about the impact of low literacy in this country on our children. Children and youth, and there's 1 million children and youth in this country who are not reading at the level they should be reading. So that's a little bit scary. Yeah. And of course, when you link it back to the use of social media, the use of texting, I'm not sure that these platforms are necessarily helping the problem. It surely helps with communications and democratizing communications, if I can say. But in terms of helping this 1 million children acquire or improve their literacy skills, I think the impact would be tremendous.
Yeah, absolutely. Just very quickly, I have 30 seconds left. Resources are available, right? And they can find that on your website, I imagine?
For sure. We are present here in Ottawa. If you would like to get support for your children, for your family, please reach out to us. We'll be happy to provide some support to you or members of your family so you can improve your literacy skills.
Excellent. Melanie, thanks so much for spending time with us. Really appreciate it. You just saw the website up there, unitedforliteracy.ca, to find out more information. We'll be right back.